I just made this new vehicle, and I wish I had like a big ramp thing or something to test it on. That'd be so awesome. Well, I'll be darned, there's one right there. I'll just use this one. This thing is a blast. I've had this thing for about a week, and I've been testing all my vehicles on it, and it's so much fun. I want to show you guys how to build this thing. It's amazing how much fun it is. And the coolest thing about it is it loads really, really fast. It loads in like 5 seconds or something. It's got 40, I think it's like 43 pieces if I remember right. The center one is the oddball, of course. Everything else is nice and even numbers. Anyway, I'll show you how to build this thing. Oh, and I'll show you how to build the car too. This little car is cute. It's fun. The red part of it is just completely useless. It's just decoration, you know. But the mechanics of it, it has suspension and it's really fast. And you need to know how to build this in order to enjoy that thing. So let's get on with the ramp thing first. Okay, I switched to wings and grabbed myself some sand. Now I'm just going to make a block that tells me how wide the build area is and find the center of the build area. So I'm going to go right up to the edge of this, and that's good enough. I'll do the same gap on the other side and then find the center. Okay, there's a center point right there. Mark that with a block. Now I'm just going to move this one up, and I'm going to build up here. Let's say this one here is 235. So I'm going to go to, let's see, I'm going to adjust by 3. That's good. And that's adjustment on both sides. And then I'm going to place a block on the end of each one of those sticks. Another sand. Okay, now this is going to be 0.1 thick. And so I'm just going to go like that. And same thing on the other side. And then switch your adjustment to 4.35. And draw it out like so on each side. Okay, now I just need to make a big 5-degree rotation circle. Okay, so this is going to be our half pipe, and it's going to start about right in here somewhere, and it's going to end right about there somewhere. These are going to be the top edges of the half pipe. So you want to leave like, let's see, here's the center point. So you want to leave this one, leave that one, and delete this one, and everything all the way around until you get to, let's see, we're leaving the center point right there. Leave that one, delete that one. Okay, so this is going to be the shape of your half pipe. This and this over here is going to be the top edges, and you want to have them tilt in just a little bit so that when you fly off the top edge, it tends to roll you back into the half pipe again instead of flinging you off the map. That will allow you to have a lot more fun and stay in the game. You might actually want to do another panel. So right now I've got 2 panels here. I've got this one and this one beyond the center panel. And if you had another one up here, it might be better. I'm not really sure. Let's see how this goes. So you want to select one of these guys, and now we're going to size this up by 1,000, and we're going to do 2 increments of that. So you go up, so there's 1,000 right there, and then you go another notch, and there's 2,000. Okay, so this is going to be 2002, and you want to just do that all the way around. All right, cool. There's our half pipe right there. Now we gotta get this thing positioned. Okay, now I'm going to put a stack of trusses, and I'm going to use the center block right here to make sure that the trusses are centered right where I want them to be. And that's going to be right in here somewhere. So I switched my move to 0.5, and then I'm going to go just a little bit away from the edge, but right on that center line. And then I'm going to stack 11 of these up. Okay, that's 11 right there, and I'm touching my sand here, so I actually want to move this whole thing. I'm going to move it up and get it away from that truss so I can have a little gap underneath here so I can work with I need to put a chair there. And then I'm also going to move the whole thing back just a little bit, and you can see it's only off by like 2, so I'll probably just move it back about 1, and that should be good enough. Alright, there we go. I left myself a little gap underneath here. So here we're going to place a block right on top of this top truss here. And then we're going to rotate that 34 degrees. Get your tool turned on there, and you're going to want to rotate it around first so that you can use the blue to rotate. So this is how it's going to be oriented, so that your blue is going around this way. And then you're going to change your tool here to 34, and then just move that. You're just going to rotate that down so that this is the angle right here. The green orientation is the angle that the thing's going to sit at. So you want to put your chair right here, and you're going to want to match rotation, and then it needs to be rotated around so that the seat is sitting like that, so the arrow points up and out. And now you need to move that into the block. And then you can delete the block. That block was there just to help position things. And now the chair is stuck to the truss, which is awesome. Okay, now I need to make the entire half pipe collision off minus one piece. And that's going to be that center piece. You want that to be collision on for right now. Let's see, so I'm going to deselect that piece. I'm going to collision off everything else. So this one here still has collision on. And then place a chair right there on that center of that block right there. And so there's the center of that. That chair goes right at the bottom. I think I got off center. There I am. Okay. Centered? Yeah, that's good. And it's right at the bottom. It's not quite at the bottom edge. So it should be kind of right at the bottom edge there. Let's go ahead and move that down. Okay. And then that needs to go up by 1,000. Okay, so it's 1,000 studs up in the air, and at this point I'm going to save and reload. And then you just fly up here, get yourself in that chair, and cake yourself to it. And once you're caked on there, then you can turn off collision on this piece, and then select all and unanchor. And you're going to fall, and you're going to fall right into that chair. And there you go. That is all set. Now you just select all, anchor, and then you can get out of that chair and you can reload this. And there you go. Now you have yourself a ramp, and it should be, if the numbers are correct, the top of this thing should either poke through or be really close to poking through. And that you can use. You need to do a little cleanup here and there. And you can delete all of those trusses along with this chair, and all of this stuff is savable. So the trick there is to make sure that the center point of these blocks, and the reason it's so important that everything be positioned like I showed, is that this is the center, and you have to make sure that this cross point right here is above your build area. So you can look right there, that is right there on that line. And that's why the chair goes right here, and just about one notch away from that, so you make sure that you get this point inside your build area, and that allows you to save this. Now it goes way down underneath the plot, so you can see if I get down like this, there half of it is underground, or almost half of it. You can see this is the halfway point, so you know you get a little bit extra, a little bit other than half, but not by much. You can make this just a little bit longer too, so the maximum length for a block is 2048, nice significant digital number. This is 2002, so yeah, you can make it just a little bit longer, but it only gets half of that extra, so about 20 more studs up there. Doesn't really buy you a whole lot of extra. It's not quite worth doing, in my opinion. I don't care that much. This was good enough. So, there's that. And let's switch to the vehicle now. If you watched my old videos on HeroPlayzRoblox, this is the vehicle that is worth looking at. This is a video that's worth looking at. I'll put a link in the description, and you should check it out, because it is a tutorial for all of this stuff. This is the suspension that happens here. So in order to make this video a little easier to digest, go follow the tutorial first, and then come back to this video. So I separated one of those vehicles out from that other build and deleted a bunch of stuff that I didn't need in that build just to make it a little faster to load. I want four-wheel steering too, because I really like the four-wheel steering thing. So I'm going to go ahead and drop a block on these wheels, and it doesn't have to be any particular block. I'm just going to delete it in a little bit. It's going to be used as my reference though. And so I'm going to go ahead and delete these two wheels here. And I'm going to go ahead and place the front wheels on those blocks. And then I'm going to rotate them upside down so that they will work. Now this is a driver's seat here, and doing this, whoops, that was 34 degrees. That's a good thing that was the blue orientation. It didn't get all messed up. Okay, so I'm going to flip them completely upside down like so. And now these will automatically turn the opposite direction as the front wheels, and the binding's already set up because I just placed them, and that's as simple as it needs to be. Okay, now collision off these four wheels because these wheels are not going to be used for traction. So you turn collision off, and you want to make sure you do that ahead of placing these other wheels on those. So grab the back wheels and then go ahead and place those on each one of these wheels. Okay, now the bindings are good already, and you want to go ahead and move these in by 2 so that it looks like that. I can delete these blocks because they were just reference. And now you need to just select all and set that wheel speed. So we're going to go with torque all the way up, speed all the way up, so you end up with speed 100. And in order to accommodate that, I need some more counterweight on this thing. So the original tutorial got it up to 88 counterweight. I'm going to go ahead and make that quite a bit more by cloning and sticking them inside of each other. Alright, I did that a few more times. Now I'm up to a counterweight of 700, and that should be about right for this build. Okay, there's one more thing we need to do here before moving on, and that is increasing the width of the protection blocks, because you can see they no longer cover these outside wheels. It's just a little bit too wide. And I see here that I'm really close to interfering and getting stuck to these guys here. So I'm actually going to pull that out a couple of notches and just get it kind of away from my suspension there. And I'm also going to even these things up, so nice even numbers are kind of good for suspension. So I took that one up to 18 high, and I'm going to take this out. It looks like 20 is a good number for that. So, okay, now I'm going to do a bunch of cloning. I'm going to dump all of these things and then clone the new one out all the way. I do need to have the protection blocks on there so that I can get down into that first stage without destroying my wheels and the suspension and stuff, and then can load the other, the ramp thing. And in this case, I'm going to have to extend this core piece right here. You can see that's the core piece I just extended right there. In the original tutorial, it was left a little short. I don't think I specified that in that tutorial, but that's the way it was. Okay, I'm going to save this and reload it. Time for a test. Okay, the coolest thing about the new ramp we just built is the load time. It loads in like 5 seconds. So far so good. Woohoo! That's awesome. Yes! Yes! Alright. Oh, I needed to answer a question. I need to figure out how much materials this actually takes. So I'm just going to select all with the trowel tool and just have it auto count. 10,979. That ain't too bad. It's a lot better than the other one I built that was like 40-some thousand. So, anyway, there you go. Hope you enjoy. Woohoo! I sure do. Have a good rest of your day, everybody. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.